Okay. And then you graduated, and you end up at NC State, and that's where you meet the members of Kooley High, and or
Influential first.
okay
So
before
before Kooley was Inflow,
okay
which Charlie Smarts was in Inflow.
okay
So same MCs minus Rhapsody, and then beatboxer, bass player, and
beatboxer
guitar player.
Dang, y'all
Yeah,
had
he
me.
would beatbox. Shout out to A did. Would beatbox the whole show. Like,
What?
Yeah, the breath control was insane.
Had the mic like this.
No, he didn't do any of the Bismarcky shit. But
I used to love when Biz Marquis. Yeah, I used to love that, yo.
yeah,
Dang, yo, low key, we have a beatboxer in our crew. He's on my podcast, but it's like you start any sort of rhythm out of nowhere, you just hear him just going crazy. I'm like, go kill it. Yeah,
it's a skill.
it really is.
Skill.
I've always been trash at it.
I thought I was good at it till I met him, and then
He was like,
all
okay,
right, I'm just gonna fall back.
I'm gonna chill.
Do
Let
this
me
rapping
just
thing.
find one of my other strengths.
Yeah,
right.
But let's see. I met the beatboxer first at a party. He went to high school with a bass player. They went to Terry Sanford and where J. Cole went, and
Oh, out in Fayetteville.
in Fayetteville, yeah.
Okay.
But they went to state, and then it was just the three of us for a long time, and we would do like open mic nights at Berkeley Cafe.
I remember Berkeley. Yep. Yeah.
We started booking some shows like on Hillsborough Street, that places that aren't there anymore.
Yeah. Because it's completely different now.
Yeah. This spot called, well, there was the brewery, and then this spot called Kathmandu.
I never even heard of that one.
Yeah, it was like the same spot that kept changing names. But anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Eventually,
The
Charlie
rebrand.
joined, and the guitar player came to one of our shows and was like, came up to us and said, his name's Kyle. Shout out to Kyle.
Okay.
That he really liked our stuff, and could he like try out?
Right. Yeah. Right.
And we were like, all right. So
Right,
he came
right.
through and fit in perfectly. Inflow was dope. We used to pack out shows at the Poorhouse and played at Lincoln Theater. We won like
been
an
doing
MTV
Poorhouse. So you
U contest,
Word.
and we got flown up to
New York.
Yukon to do this show where we opened for FlowRider
Whoa.
and
Is this-
Wyclef.
Dang.
And we got to meet Wyclef. But it was cool. They flew us up there, and
When did that group form? And then
I want to say like 2002,
okay.
maybe 2003, possibly. And then along somewhere within there, after I met Charlie, we started H2O at NC
Yeah,
State, which is
right.
a hip hop organization, like a student
Right.
organization.
One of the questions that I did have about the H2O was was the ciphers on Mondays. Is it Monday? Was that even
Yeah.
there? Did y'all start that?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Shout out to those guys,
Yeah.
Cypher University. No, they came in after us and kind of. Hip hop at State seems weird. Like there's always lulls. Like
Yeah.
it was nothing when we came.
So y'all.
So
Yeah,
we
y'all
kind of
brought it
like
there.
we did start our own thing, but it was
Right.
more like we would set up like events. We would put shows together. We would have like beat battles, MC battles. We'd just throw parties.
So you've always been. You guys have always like made sure like. It doesn't seem like there was ever a point when you were just doing it and not strategically making sure like your business is right, or you guys were like organizing shows, marketing. It seemed like you've been doing that from the very beginning.
Yeah, that's the only way that we ever booked shows was like kind of cultivating our own crowd and then proving to the venue that we could pack it out.
Right.
And then from that, develop relationships with these venues around Raleigh, at least that like we still have to this day.
Right.
So if we hit them up, they're like, yeah,
Yeah.
as long as there's a date.
Right.
Yeah, so it's cool. But yeah. But yeah, so it was Charlie's idea to start the organization, and then he worked with Rhapsody at Foot Action at the time.
And that's how they met.
So I remember the three of us sitting in a room in G.H. Hill Library on campus and kind of like figuring out the paperwork and all the stuff we had to do to get it up and running.
Yeah, like in terms of like the LLC and everything.
Well, no, because it was just like a student. So
you're talking about when you're putting H2O
for
together
H2O,
for the
yeah.
campus. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you just have all these forms you got to fill out
In order to start an organization on
to
campus.
be like a real affiliated organization. And then once we did that, that's how we met Digits and Foolery and Synop.
Because now you have this official organization, you're rallying people to it, and then you're picking from the best.
From there, like there was a lot of producers, DJs, MCs. So we made a compilation album. Some dude's studio. I can't remember where it was, somewhere in Raleigh. And from that's kind of how we like figured out the producers that we liked, and Kooley kind of like gravitated towards each other.
Right. It started off as like a big collective, and then it chops down to the most serious people essentially, and the people who or just the people that pairs up kind of.
Yeah, that vibed.
The vibe, the energy. It'll sort itself out kind of thing. Yeah, true.
Absolutely.
And then Kooley High is born, and then you got everybody together. When was because you had won that MTV thing before Kooley High was even.
Yeah, that was before Kooley. So in Kooley's infancy, we would have inflow shows.
Yeah.
And we would put Kooley on the bill as an opener. So we would we would open for ourselves.
Right.
Which sounds ridiculous now, but
but
it was different enough because it was like live band feel, and then just kind of like traditional hip hop with a DJ.
Right.
So it worked.
Because that was one of the things that I was wondering. I know Kooley High had huge success. But I was wondering, was that the first time? But I guess it wasn't, because you guys are entering and winning MTV events and things of that nature.